Hello, everyone. It is now 5:48 p.m. It's just late. So I had to come back on here to document this. So in the previous video, I was talking about how I wasn't sure what was causing my you know, the pain and pressure on my heart or me feeling extra sleepy lately. So I've had scallops before, but I never really had an allergic reaction to scallops. I have two brothers that are, I have two brothers, Mark and Wyatt, are the only two, family members that are, they're allergic to, I don't know if they're allergic to all shellfish, but they're allergic to crawfish, shrimp, and I'm not sure what other shellfish they're allergic to. But last year, Wyatt told me, like, he was all excited, saying that that he found a way that he was able to eat crawfish and stuff. We're from New Orleans, so he said he found a way to be able to eat crawfish without having an allergic reaction. So, my senior year in high school, I think it was after I graduated, and the foster family, the foster mom took us to Virginia to see the foster sister April. And so then when we went by April in Virginia, we went to this all-you-can-eat buffet. And what happened was, when we went to the all-you-can-eat buffet restaurant, when we went to the restaurant, I had some, I don't remember everything I had, but I had some mussels, the seafood mussel, mussels, mussels. So I had some seafood mussels, and that was the first time I ever had those. So then, later on, like, I think I broke out in hives, or I had, like, they said I had an allergic reaction, and they gave me Benadryl or something, and then I ended up with a headache. And then, I ended up taking another medicine. They had me take another medicine. And so the foster mom said that I was allergic to mussels. So then, after that, I ended up, it's like, excuse me, I was unresponsive and I couldn't respond to anything. I couldn't respond, I was unresponsive, but I was conscientious, like I still had my consciousness and can hear, but I couldn't respond. And I guess it was an accidental medicine overdose, or maybe the two medications interacted funny, And so, how I talked about before about how narcissistic abusers, they falsely accuse you of faking illness for attention, right? So if you knew I had like an allergic reaction, or I had some reaction and then I had a headache on top of that or whatever, she falsely accused me of faking sickness on purpose for attention. And then her and the foster cousin Corey's wife, Nikki, they were, and I think the foster sister Shelley was there, and they were all instigating, and falsely accusing me of faking for attention. And I'm like, if I'm privately around family, who the hell could I show? I mean, that wasn't my biological family, but a foster family, was considered family, So who could I show off in front of? Or what attention? Like, come on now. So they falsely accused me of faking, right? And I think I also had my psychiatric medications on top of those couple of other medicines that I was taking. I mean, that I took that evening because of, what I just described. And so they kept on trying to get me to wake up. I couldn't wake up. I couldn't, I don't remember if I was extra relaxed, but I just couldn't respond. And then the foster mom got mad and slapped me in the face as hard as she could, trying to wake me up. And it didn't hurt. And so, they falsely accused me of faking sickness for attention and made a threat to put me on the 6th floor in a psych ward. Like in Hampton, Virginia, how did the foster mom know which floor or what location the psychiatric facility was? Well, the foster mom never put me in the mental hospital, but she always made those threats. But how she knew it was on the 6th floor? Or how she knew what floor it was on, or what hospital or whatever. So I was 17 going on 18 when this happened. After I graduated from high school, it was like, I think it was the month, like late July, early August, me and my twin sister's birthday or whatever. And so they made threats to put me in a mental institution. They were making threats to throw my college career away and taunting and harassing me during a medical emergency. Taunting and harassing me. And the foster mom was like, "Goodbye, Nichols!" Because I was supposed to go to Nichols State University. Starting right, a couple of days before me and my twin sister's birthday, we went into the dorms and, I went to Nichols, but my twin sister didn't go to college. She went to the military. So, she was like, "Goodbye, Nichols." And they were making threats to throw my whole life and college career away. So then after that, she was threatening to throw my whole college career away, and my whole career, my whole future, everything away, and making threats to have them to lock me up in a mental institution. They didn't falsely accuse me of suicide or trying to end my life or nothing. They just falsely accused me of just faking a medical emergency just for attention. Like they always do. And I'm glad I'm not around their fucking asses no more. So then I think another time, sometime later on in adulthood, I had muscles again to test to see if I really was allergic to them. And then nothing happened. But then another time in adulthood, I think I may have had muscles before. And then after that, I, I think the third time I had muscles, I think I may have had like an allergic reaction or something, but I don't remember how I handled it. I don't remember what year it was. I don't remember anything, But then I think I may have tried the muscles a fourth time and no allergic reaction. So But I don't think I'll be eating mussels for the rest of my life again, you know. So, like, I've had scallops before. And, I do remember, like, for Valentine's Day, I remember I told y'all a few days ago about for Valentine's Day, a couple of days ago, for Valentine's Day 2018, I wasn't even trying to do anything special, but it so happened to be on that day that I cooked that meal. And, I had some left over, like I froze it, and then like some time later on, like a month or two later on, I had some more of that, and I just slept good. Certain seafoods sometimes can make you sleep good. Sometimes not, but sometimes, it can make you sleep better. And I don't really have like scallops that often or that much. So this may not be an allergic reaction, what I'm going through, but like, so immediately when I got off the previous video that I did, like, remember I told y'all in the video that I pretty much everything, like this morning I felt fine. Immediately after I got off the video, it was about it was right around 3:30 this morning. I'm sorry, this afternoon, a couple hours ago. It was 3:30 this afternoon, I meant to say. But earlier all day I felt like normal. And I haven't even, like, so this morning, usually when I go outside and, I come back inside and spray and sanitize, my shoes and feet and stuff like that, and then, because like when I walk on these streets outside right here, sometimes rocks or wind or whatever would fly on my legs or my ankles or something like that. So, and I do this like every time I go out. So, and no problem at all. Excuse me. So then, like this morning, I felt fine. But, like, so then, like I sprayed, this morning like I usually do. And then I had, like when I try to get the mop, because was that this morning? Yeah, it was this morning that I accidentally spilled, like they had some excess juice from the tacos that I ate that kind of spilled a little bit. And I was trying to clean and sanitize it. And then I saw, like, it was like, because they have like pests and insects that like to they like to hang out on my little mop. Well, it's not an actual mop, but I guess you call it a dust mop. And so they like to hang out there, So usually I only see these creatures at night, not during the day. But I saw like the roach with the silver wings on it. I saw one of those, and I saw another pest that I couldn't identify. But I also been seeing something that looked kind of like slugs or something like that. I don't think they are slugs, but they look like tiny, skinny little, but look like they even crawl like slugs. And sometimes I might see them up in here. So then I was like normal, I was like normal this morning and normal this afternoon. And then after I did that video, like when I told y'all I was fine, the very instant I turned off the video and started uploading it and then walked into the living room to try to put the phone on a charger, that's when they started to, like, my chest started to hurt really bad. And I started to feel so much pain and pressure, like feel chest tightness and pain and pressure, and feel like as if gravity is pulling my heart down. And I started to panic and think that the rubbing alcohol, the other alcohol, whatever, I started to think that that was the reason. So I talked to another targeted individual. He was just telling me the other day, stay out of the hospital, stay away from the hospital. I'm not going to say why, because I don't want to give the perks ideas. So a lot of targeted individuals say, stay out of the hospital. But, when I had that feud with Paul, he tried to falsely accuse me of being fake and say that I don't even have proof of myself going to the hospital or nothing, in which I got proof of going to the hospital, as recent as of May. And then it seemed like as if me and him went to the hospital around the same time, because he would say that he had to have a monitor on his heart because they're hitting his heart with frequency weapons, the direct energy weapons. So when he falsely accused me of being a fake, he tried to say I look like he trying to insinuate that, he tried to call me a he. He falsely accused me of, he tried to insinuate that he didn't know if I was a man or a woman. And then he falsely accused me of being a fake TI and a gang stalker. And he falsely accused me of perping him. And, he tried to, and then he called me an Uncle Tom. But then he said he doesn't believe in Freemasonry, the Illuminati, New World Order, microchips, because he think that's crazy talk. But, it seemed like he got some mixed beliefs. He said he believed in God, but not the Bible. But as I said, y'all muted and canceled me on my own channel and made it like as if y'all think y'all got the gang stalkers who I have blocked. Y'all think y'all got the authority to mute and cancel me and give me massive thumbs down on all my videos. So many targeted individuals say, don't try your best to stay out the hospital. They say try your best, don't go to the hospital, stay out the hospital. So when I got off, I'm not trying to rehash or start this back up again, but I'm sitting here letting y'all know I'm being hit with these weapons too. But let me finish though. So yeah, I felt bad about all the stuff that he said about me, and it's like y'all wanted to take Paul's side against me, but I show my proof every day. I got proof as recent as this morning. I have proof as recent as of this morning of the gang stalking evidence or whatever. So I went to the emergency. I had to go to the emergency room back in May because they were hitting me with the directed energy weapons. They were hitting me with the directed energy weapons and causing me nausea and that badass vertigo, and which contributed to me being more sleep deprived. And back in December, I had a medical, December 31st, I had a medical emergency where I got overheated and felt weak and faint at the Cracker Barrel restaurant in Pensacola. And, they probably were hitting me with weapons and, just before the new year. And, trying to destroy me. And so, I'm sitting here calling myself staying on the safe side because I'm sitting here feeling like I'm about to die, feeling like this is a life or death situation. So they gang stalked me. Like, they had a white pickup truck with one headlight, following me closely while I was in the ambulance. And they were a whole bunch of cars gang stalked and pulled out of the Cracker Barrel parking lot precisely at the same time. And they had somebody that was pointing and aiming their phone up. They were sitting in their cars, and it looked like they were filming me eating. I don't know if they were filming me while I was eating the whole time, or if they were hitting me with weapons that whole time that I was eating. So I had to go to the emergency room. And then I had to go to the emergency room 4 times in 2019 due to the directed energy attacks. I went in 2017, even on me and my twin sister's birthday, due to the directed energy weapon attacks. So, I'm like, I was trying to figure out what could be the reason for the pain in my heart. Like, pain and pressure. Like, I was totally fine sitting down, talking like I'm talking now. And the very instant after I start uploading the video and I go try to put my phone on a charger, because my phone had got down to like 15%, and I needed to put it back on a charger. And I also watched a couple of YouTube and TikTok videos as well, for like a few videos I watched. And then I went to put my phone on a charger. It was about 3:30, and then I went to go and plug my phone in, and like the time said 3:35 p.m. this afternoon. Precisely right after I plugged my phone in, then I try to drink a little bit of the water left over, because like this morning when I had 2 of those barbacoa tacos at this location, they're flavorless and nasty, but the barbacoa tacos at the by the Greyhound bus stop, that was flavorful and delicious, and I was fantasizing, like couldn't wait to get some more. But the tacos at this place, just like flavorless and doggone nasty. Well, I'm not gonna say nasty, but they don't really have that much flavor, They don't really have that much flavor. So I had 2 tacos, and I had some some pink. No, it was raspberry lemonade. The raspberry lemonade was expired, so I drank both of them. I was gonna save one for tomorrow, but I felt fine. And then like later on, I took me some of my, I think it was during or right after the meal, that I took both some bentonite clay and amazing grass to try to counteract the so-called high sugar. Because I didn't realize, yikes, 76 grams of sugar with that pink lemonade. But I just wanted to stay on a safe side, but I took the clay and some I took the bentonite clay and the amazing grass. So then, so like this afternoon, I had a little bit remnants left of the amazing grass and probably a little bit of the clay too. And so I drank the last, because like I let some of the ice from the water melt, and then I drank the last of it. And then I noticed that I started feeling pressure and pain on my heart. Like, and then I didn't feel drowsy this time, or I didn't feel drowsy or sleepy this time, but I just felt pressure and pain on my heart. And it spooked me and it scared me. And then, like, my heart was racing. I felt the need to breathe extra hard, but my heart was racing. And I said, well, I was trying to do everything to not have to call the ambulance or the paramedics or have to go to the emergency room, the hospital, or nothing. So then, like, I try to drink like 2 glasses of water. It helped me feel a little bit better temporarily. And then I brushed my teeth with some of the bentonite clay and try to brush my tongue and everything. Because this morning, like when I was outside and that dirty guy with the satanic shirt, I think he brushed up against me and he was looking he was all into his phone and everything. So I think he brushed up against me. So with my OCD and everything, I sprayed my dress off, and it wasn't that much, but I did this, to try to make sure it didn't get in my mouth. And it still seemed like the fumes got on my tongue, and I could still taste the fumes on my tongue. I mean, I can still taste like residue on my tongue, even though I closed my mouth like this. So then, but so it's like this afternoon, my the pain, it went away a little bit. It went away a little bit after I brushed my teeth and everything. And I thought that I thought that the alcohol, did me something, because I wasn't sure, because I thought it was something different. So then after that, I had to use the bathroom, not to tell TMI, but I'm doing this for like medical documentation. I made a bowel movement and it was normal. It didn't seem like it was diarrhea or anything like that. And then I immediately hopped in the shower. I took a shower, and then I didn't have the shower too hot because it's already hot. But when I was on the toilet, I'm sorry for TMI, y'all. Excuse me. I was on the toilet, but I felt like I was a little bit cold and shivering because I have the air on 62 degrees. I have it on the coldest. And so then, I felt like the pain was intense enough to make me feel like I need to go to the emergency room, or something bad gonna happen to me, or I'm afraid that I'm dying. So, I didn't want to call the paramedics. And I'm like, well, if I drop dead, then people will say, oh, Candy's stupid. So then, I try to just stay on the safe side. And I called the poison control center. And I told her exactly what alcohol I was using. And she confirmed to me. I mean, because I put up a Craigslist ad and was going to get rid of the alcohol. And, I thought that was the reason. But, I put up a Craigslist ad and said I was never going to use that alcohol ever again. So she confirmed to me that she said she was reading the safety data sheet. And she said that is the exact same alcohol She said it is the exact same alcohol that you would buy in a grocery store. Or like at Walgreens or something. And I'm like, I felt a relief, you know, because other people said that they had used it, for the same reason. They said they used it for like the same reason, you know, for cleaning and sanitizing or for first aid or whatever you would use regular rubbing alcohol. But she said it was pretty much the same thing. So I even told her that I somehow got a little bit on my tongue. She said it should not be a bother at all. And she said that, you know, if like with the rubbing alcohol, she said that that's not something that would cause me chest pain. So she assured me that it was the same as the regular rubbing alcohol and that is not the reason why my chest is hurting. So, she said everything is pretty much normal, So she told me to just, try to use more ventilation, because I have the AC on, but I don't have like I have the AC in one window and I can't open that small little window. And I don't like opening the door because then so many flies and everything come in. So that's why I don't want to open the front door. Because I've tried that like last week or the week before. I try to open the door to air out the house, and then flies just took advantage of coming in. I freaked out. I can't even go outside at night because then so many flies or whatever, flies, moths, mosquitoes try to come in. And then I'm sitting here spraying the house trying to kill them all night long. And I have not had like chest pains, or pain in my heart due to rubbing alcohol. I never had nausea, chest pain, or, vertigo because of rubbing alcohol. And I used to use the 91%, but I used the 70%. But, I've been using the rubbing alcohol more on sanitize. Like, I didn't realize that my junior year in high school, I started with the rubbing alcohol, I think. And then that was the first time I heard about hand sanitizer. So then I started to use hand sanitizer. And then because with my OCD, ever since foster care, I guess since junior high, I used to wash my hands all the time. And like take long baths, or if I feel like something dirty I feel the need to clean it because, so then, but like, yeah, ever since like my junior year in high school, like for a brief moment, I was using rubbing alcohol to clean and sanitize. Then after that, I started using hand sanitizer. And then I've been using that for years, but then when I was living in like Denton, Texas and stuff, and I hardly left the house, I didn't feel the need to use that much, I didn't feel the need to have the compulsions, with the OCD and everything. But Los Angeles being so dirty, I was traumatized. Like I had, the OCD got way worse after being around so many homeless people, and then I had just become homeless, and also me being raped. All that made my OCD worse, and there was really no therapist to be supportive anyway, and I didn't really have anybody. So I felt the need to like clean everything I touched with rubbing alcohol, you know. So I mean, I think I was using like, before I left Denton, Texas, I was just cleaning with hand sanitizer. But then, excuse me, in 2011, I was in a homeless shelter, and they thought I was a troublemaker because I was always like, well, I used to have like disinfectant spray, wipes, and hand sanitizer. And the hand sanitizer would get sticky. So then I started using rubbing alcohol. And so the and I just didn't like the way the hand sanitizer would feel on my hands. But Purell is like Germ-X. I didn't like the way Germ-X, would have like the sticky feeling on my hands. But Purell used to help me feel better. I mean, used to, like, when I would sanitize my hands with Purell, the Purell sanitizer used to, the Purell hand sanitizer used to, make my hands feel close to like rubbing alcohol, because it didn't leave like any residue on my hands, any uncomfortable kind of icky residue on my hands. So, but ever since 2011 and being homeless and in those shelters and stuff, I used to like being in those shelters and being homeless and all the gross, filthy, disgusting things that I saw. I think OCD or not, I think anybody, the stuff that I saw, like, I figured that anybody would have, I think that anybody would have freaked out and wanted to clean, like when at Union Rescue Mission in Los Angeles, what I call separation torture mission, when like they forced us to use the bathroom in the dark. And they forced us to have to use the bathroom in the dark. And then they would have like menstrual blood all over the damn toilet seat. And if you ever been to shelters, like, they just filthy and disgusting. Filthy and disgusting. And you might see doo-doo on the toilet, like, piss, doo-doo, and blood or vomit on the toilet seat. You don't know what you're going to see. So when I was at the winter shelter in Long Beach in 2012, was it 2011, 2012, at the winter shelter in Long Beach, I kept on seeing green stuff on the porta potties, the filthy, gross porta potties that they didn't even bother or care to clean, really, or totally sanitize. And I kept on seeing green stuff. And I heard that, and so I was forced to pee on the floor because I didn't even want to touch the damn, I couldn't, like, just, I feel like nobody deserves to live in those kind of conditions. We had to go outside from the shelter and then go into these porta potties at night and use those gross, disgusting, filthy ass bathrooms. I mean, porta potties with that green gonorrhea. Like, somebody, it was just one person, like, I don't know, some kind of way getting it all over each toilet seat. And even at the Greyhound bus stations, like in was it Mobile, Alabama? After Alex Dupree ran me out of Pensacola, and then I was on my way back to Pensacola from Mobile, Alabama, and I saw like blood, like looked like menstrual blood on every, on every freaking toilet seat at the Greyhound station in Mobile, Alabama. In 2020, like during that time, like June 2020, during that time, I can't say it on here, but so that re-traumatized me all over again and had me all freaked out and stuff, So like a couple of times off and on, when my OCD would get better and start to improve, then I end up getting raped again. So, in this small town, this is a small town, but everything is filthy and disgusting here. The people are filthy and disgusting and dirty. So, I mean, they had this couple that was bed bug infested. Like, and it was right when they opened the new Family Dollar Tree. They were bed bug infested. And they try to brush up on me or try to touch me or get close to me on purpose. They were perps, And so they would have like so many dirty people here. They would have like people that be so dirty. And then you go to Dollar General and the countertop is, so gross that like when you go to Family Dollar Tree and certain Walmarts, like an HEB is so filthy and disgusting. But at the Aldi, when I went to the grocery checkout, I don't remember it being so dirty. I don't really remember it being too dirty, But like Family Dollar and stuff or Dollar Tree, I'd be feeling so gross. I mean, Dollar General, I meant to say. Oh, and Dollar Tree be those stores too that being like very dirty and everything. So at this location of Dollar General, like they never clean or sanitize, They don't clean or sanitize the counters or anything. And so I'd be feeling uncomfortable putting my food up there to get scanned. And then like I'd be just feeling so gross, So as I said, I ordered some of the I ordered some of the rubbing alcohol online because they didn't have a whole lot. Like they started having less supply at either one of these stores. At either one of the stores around here, they didn't have like they didn't have that many bottles. And plus, I felt like I didn't want to be hoggish or take away from other people that need it. So that's another reason why I resorted to ordering some online, But the lady reassured me that the alcohol would not do that, that the rubbing alcohol would not do that. And I don't think it was the scallops that would cause my chest pain. And I told her about the Teflon on the pots and pans or whatever. She said that it shouldn't be that bad unless it's long-term use and unless it's long-term use or something like that. She said that shouldn't be that bad. So all of that was ruled out. So if all of that was ruled out, my guess is, so none of this would cause a chest pain. My guess is, okay, remember I told you about the fake Darnell Williams perp making threats for me to die before me and my twin sister, we turn 40 next Friday. And so he would make remarks talking about how, for me to die, before I mean, I showed y'all YouTube community posts of screenshots of him wishing death on me and for me to be dead before I turn 40 years old. So like a couple of times this week, I don't know what it was that would call, if I was getting adequate hours of sleep. I don't know what it could have been though that would have caused me to feel like extra drowsy or extra sleepy and painful pressure on my heart. So I feel like this. Like back in May, they tortured me with the directed energy weapons. What? Oh, come on. Oh, my MP3 player. I almost thought the MP3 player. Like I just put this battery in here. So okay, it paused for a little bit longer and then it restarted the track all over again for me. The white noise. So I mean, what was I saying? So like for May, when I started to work on writing and publishing ebooks, and the online perps got mad at me about publishing a cookbook. So they got mad at me about publishing, going back to trying to write and publish ebooks again. Excuse me. So when I started to try to work on the foster care abuse ebook, that week was when they started attacking me really bad, like relentless, and they were using directed energy attacks to attack me, with the nausea and vertigo and sleep deprivation. So this week, I'm hoping, but I may not even get the help to get there, or to accomplish my goal, But when I announced about the cheaper housing opportunity back in Pensacola, and for me to announce that, so if it's not the rubbing alcohol, it's not the Teflon flakes from the pot, it's none of that. So, and it's not the scallops, and I forgot what other. I thought it was 5 different possibilities, but so it has to be them, the directed energy weapon attacks. If it's none of those, it has to be the directed energy weapon attacks. And I heard about this heart attack weapon or heart attack gun. So, like, and when I was taking a shower, they try to squeeze my organs as well. And it was on a scale of like 6 out of 1 to 10. It was on a scale of like 6. So I caught myself trying to take a shower, trying to detox with the bentonite clay, trying to drink some water, trying to do all this because I thought I was poisoned, But the lady said, she reassured me that is the exact same thing, the exact same alcohol as the rubbing alcohol that you use that you get from the store. So if none of that's the reason, for me to talk about and trying to get help for, I think they're using the direct energy weapon attacks to attack me as a form of punishment for they call themselves trying to punish me for trying to ask for help to try to And it might be in-person gang stalkers, I don't know if the in-person gang stalkers or satellites or what it is, but I just know that I'm being hit with direct energy weapons. I'm glad I didn't have to go have a wasted trip or a blank trip to the emergency room, because then, they throw you out cold on the streets and they don't care that you don't have transportation. I almost didn't get transportation on the way back home the last time, which was the first time I went to the emergency room here. So I figured I would save myself an ER trip and contact the poison control center and make sure everything was okay. And this was the second time I had to call the poison control center. I had to call them a couple of weeks ago because of when I tried to, when I didn't realize they changed the tap water, and I thought that I was poisoned by the Dawn dishwashing liquid, because when I thought that I rinsed the dishes all the way, and I would feel foam in my, soap suds or foam in my throat. And there was another lady, I'm glad that the poison control center, if they be patient and nice to you, and respectful. And so I was told that I was going to be okay with that too, So I'm just trying to stay on the safe side and double check, with things, And it's a lonely, scary world. I don't know anybody here in Bloomington. I don't know anybody in Victoria. I don't even know if family members, I think Mark is living in Dallas for the rest of his life. Dallas. And I don't know if my twin sister's still living in the Dallas-Fort Worth, Brandy, if she's living in the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. But I heard that Wyatt moved away from Houston and went back to Milwaukee. But I heard that Derek was living in Houston, but I don't know where he is now. That's the youngest, not always been estranged from him, So Mark said he didn't want to ever go back to live in New Orleans again, and I think he said he's happy with, or that he likes being in Dallas. But, I had been used to being in a different city and state with no family or nobody. But it could get scary, being alone or being lonesome. It can be scary sometimes. So I'm not feeling dizzy or lightheaded or nothing. At the moment, I'm not feeling drowsy, but I'm feeling this painful pressure on my heart. So, and then, the fake Darnell, like I said, the fake Darnell Williams perp try to harass me and talk about how I won't live to get to see my 40th birthday. And then he made jokes saying R.I.P. Candy Grand, or R.I.P. Greedy Grand Perp. This is what he would say, R.I.P. Candace Grand Perp, or whatever. My name's Candy, not Candace. And then he would say, make remarks about nobody coming to claim my body and talking about me being cremated and stuff like that. So every time I try to accomplish something, they ramp up torturing me with the directed energy weapons bad enough, that it can be crippling and disabling and cause a medical emergency, a traumatizing medical emergency. So I didn't know what was going on this afternoon, but I had been using rubbing alcohol, almost every day pretty much for, almost every day for since 2011. After I got to Los Angeles, after I became homeless and after the rape situation in Denton, Texas in 2011, before I left. I mean, it was after I left Denton, Texas. But, like, so, I mean, I'm feeling at ease about that, but I figured that they're mad at me for trying to seek help with a cheaper or better housing opportunity. And so I heard something about, not wildfires, but I heard something about a few fires here and there in my hometown, New Orleans. And I heard that there was some underground fire or something that had started since before the Maui thing, the Lahaina or whatever. And so they said it was like an underground fire. And I'm like, well, underground, that sounds like fracking. Or I could be wrong. But so I mean, I'm about to be 40 years old, and the fake Darnell Williams purpose making remarks about me not being able to live to see my 40th birthday. And, I even prayed, hoping I didn't make a mistake. I even prayed about, this heart pain. Like, so when I was in Cincinnati, earlier this year. And when I was at the first room of the extended stay place, it was clean, and the room was clean enough that I was able to go like almost the whole day without having to use the rubbing alcohol. And I would try to challenge myself to not use it. But even if I did, it might be like a couple little sprays or something. But if I had to leave the room, like to go do laundry or something, then I'd be having to sanitize and everything. But my mouth still tastes like even though I try to brush my teeth and sanitize my mouth, still tastes like I got alcohol on my tongue. But the lady told me that I don't really have anything to worry about. But I try to drink more water, But when I was working at Gulf Breeze Middle School and the high school, like I would clean a lot and sanitize with the rubbing. Like, even though I would clean the toilets and stuff, and I would have situations where I would end up, when flushing the toilet, if I end up getting, toilet water on my arm or something and feel like I got to spray and sanitize. So I was always spraying and sanitizing so much with the rubbing alcohol when I had that job, and not one time that I suffer any drowsiness, being tired. I didn't have to go to the hospital. I didn't have to worry about going to the hospital. I didn't suffer drowsiness, no nausea, no vertigo, no none of that. So, like, in the situation in May, I was very low on the rubbing alcohol in May. Like, and I was already feeling the vertigo and the nausea and everything. And I almost fell out. And I lost balance and got weak. So that day, May 24th, the rubbing alcohol had just arrived. And I had just opened one of the bottles. I don't remember how many bottles it was. I don't remember if it was 3 or 4 bottles. But, you know, but it wasn't that much. But I had just got the shipment, that, the Amazon shipment, because, excuse me, that was before they opened up the Family Dollar, and Dollar General didn't have alcohol for a long time. So I was surprised that they had it the last time I went to Dollar General, about a week or two ago, and that girl was making smart ass remarks talking about, oh, that's a lot of alcohol. Like, shut up. Like, I didn't even ask for your opinion, But it was a few bottles, But I didn't tell her, shut up, I didn't ask for your opinion. But, she tried to make these remarks. So then, but back in May, those abusive, narcissistic, gang stalking, fake paramedics, when I went outside, the moment I came out into the ambulance feeling the way I was feeling, I think there was like a fly or something that touched my my hair or something, and then I tried to spray it, and it's like I had just got the alcohol like an hour or so before that, and I didn't use much of it at all, and I didn't have that much alcohol, but they abused me and treated me a certain way, and they falsely try to scapegoat and lie and say that the rubbing alcohol was the reason why I was feeling the nausea and vertigo, when they probably know very well that it was the direct energy weapons. So it's like, but they're playing like a street theater psych game towards me. Like, as I said, I didn't even really use that much because I was almost out of it. And then, like, I had just got some, like, earlier that afternoon. And I went to try to listen to my Christian songs. And then later on, I couldn't finish listening to my Christian songs. I had just started to listen to the songs. And it was about 3:45 p.m., I think I was in the middle of listening to the songs. Excuse me. Trying to yawn and sneeze at the same time. So they try to scapegoat and lie and say it was the rubbing alcohol, the reason why I was feeling that way, when it had nothing to do with that. But they all like abusing me and treating me mean the whole time and wouldn't let me spray anything. And they forced me to be in the ambulance while with a fly flying out, and they would not allow. They caused me psychological, mental, and emotional torture and treated me more like a criminal than a medical patient. And then I was still like, I don't remember exactly how long I was feeling the vertigo and nausea, but I felt it, it started that week. And I barely had any rubbing alcohol, but I knew it was those, and I had just, I think I had started on it, or I announced about, I had started on it, or I announced that I was gonna, because I had already published the cookbook, and it wasn't my best. It was the first cookbook, but it didn't turn out the way I, really wanted it to. And then my foster care ebook that I wrote, they started really attacking me, and they even gave me a nightmare about me having a medical emergency where I lost consciousness or fell out. They hit me, like, caused me dream manipulation, where I ended up with a medical emergency and fell out, and there was nobody, and I couldn't reach the phone, or there was nobody I could call for help. in the dream. And then like 2 days later, I didn't lose consciousness, but I did fall. I mean, I did almost fall. I didn't fall, but I almost collapsed. But see, like ever since me living here, like just now, I just thought I felt something fly or crawl on my legs, but it's nothing there. But but I just had to seek that reassurance that, oh, there's nothing there, but I thought I felt something. But like with so many insects crawling and flying, you know, here. But I used the rubbing alcohol a lot, you know, when I had to be homeless out on the streets and everything, you know. And I never really had like much of an issue with any of that. You know, because I would have to use the alcohol to try to clean and sanitize, especially when I had to go for a couple of weeks with no shower and couldn't get a shower anywhere, no bath or shower anywhere, which was part of the reason why I ended up with infected athlete's foot on my right pinky toe. I think it was two toes, and then it was like, and so when I put the alcohol on there, the my toe, it seemed like it started to heal and cleanse. It started to cleanse and heal like immediately, and I was able to deodorize like certain clothes or underclothes. You know, if they caused me forced urination, you know, I would spray, you know, with the rubbing alcohol, you know, my underclothes to try to reduce the smell. If they caused me forced urination, I didn't have any opportunity to change clothes or the convenience or anything to change clothes, you know. But I'm glad that they don't have a whole bunch of bugs in here. You know, I see, like, as I said, like, every now and then now I might see, like something crawling, but I try to keep this place clean, you know. I try to keep it clean. Whoa. So my phone is letting me know that there's another heat advisory. So like I started to feel hopeless and start to wonder, well, if the whole world is on fire, damn it. If the world is on fire and there's medical emergencies and evacuations everywhere, start to make me wonder, you know, is it worth it, or should I still continue to try to seek to try to pursue trying to get help to get the cheaper place to live, the cheaper opportunity, the permanent housing opportunity back in Pensacola. You know, if I should try to pursue to get that back. I mean, you know, in Pensacola, or should, I mean, like, because I would hate to have to pay twice as much over here, and then on top of that, continue had to pay almost like $126 for the storage unit, and having like not much or nothing for myself left over. You know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm having mixed feelings and wondering what should I do. You know, like everything getting scary. Like I'm here, like I don't know if it like, because I heard it was like some place full of tires or something that burned. Then I heard this place and that place burned in my hometown, New Orleans. But, and I heard about that underground burning before the Maui thing happened. Lahaina. And then I heard about yesterday, I think it was, I heard that Oahu, is that how you pronounce it? Yikes. Oahu, Hawaii was on like another another spot in Hawaii got, burning. And then I heard about the Northwest Territories in Canada that people are forced to have to evacuate away from there. And I'm hearing about this government land grabs to force us into smart cities and stackable places to live, and our travel and movement will be controlled and restricted. Very controlled and restricted. I'm starting to feel the vibrating again. So I know I did like 3 videos this morning. And then I did a video like a couple of hours ago. And I did not foresee or know that I would end up with this pain in my heart or pain in my chest, So, yeah, I mean, I didn't know what was going on. So I figured they must be attacking me because of so-called punishment for me trying to seek help with the funds to get the cheaper housing opportunity. And then our 40th birthday is approaching next Friday. And so, the fake Darnell Williams making threats about my death and everything. Like the pain that I felt, even after drinking water, brushing my teeth with bentonite clay, making a bowel movement, taking a shower, and then calling a poison control center. And then the pain was still there, but then, excuse me, then after I came and sat down here on the bed, now I feel kind of back to normal. Not 100%, but feeling a little bit better. So, like, I'm going to try to be more careful, but I'm still scared and traumatized with everything. But if I was around abusive, narcissistic, fake mental health people or family members, they would lie and falsely accuse me of either faking for attention, or they would falsely accuse me of, like, they would falsely lie and say that I'm having these pains because I'm having a panic attack. Which neither is the case. But the lady from the poison control center, she said that, if I got this kind of chest pain, to call 911, and that it could be something serious, or it can be that it's got to be a different reason. But she said it could be something serious, and she said, take that seriously, don't. But then again, I'm scared to even call the paramedics. I'm scared to even call the paramedics, and afraid of making a blank trip, because I've had moments where if they would attack and torture me with the directed energy weapons, and then, making me feel like it's a life or death situation. Excuse me. And then either after I called them, or after I arrive in an ambulance, or after I get in the ambulance on a stretcher, or after I arrive at the hospital, then the attacks stop, which make me feel gaslit. And I heard other targeted individuals had to go through this too. They've had to go through that. So I feel honored, for anybody to take the time out and listen to me talk for like an hour and a half or 2 hours, talking about my documentation on the gang stalking, or the gang stalking or narcissistic abuse, or anything about my life. But I don't feel honored for the gang stalkers to do it. The online perps, I don't feel honored for them for them to do it, because I'm talking about for my few little supportive subscribers that I have. That's who I'm talking about. The few little supportive subscribers that I have. So, yeah, I'm trying to not have to go to the emergency room. And these motherfuckers are killing me. They're trying to kill me. It's really scary and traumatizing. And then nobody will believe you. Even people who sit at their TIs like me, they feel like they wouldn't believe me. And for some moment, I didn't feel like pain in my jaw or my left arm or anything like that. But I didn't feel pain in my jaw or my left arm or anything, but like the pain I was feeling in my heart and my chest, made me feel afraid that I was having a heart attack. But it caught me unawares. It caught me off guard, and I started to feel like, first I started to feel like as if there's lack of oxygen to my heart. And I haven't been sleep deprived this week, or, like my sleep started to get better. But like I'm sitting here feeling pressure to the point where it's so intense that it becomes painful. Like pain. Like pressure on my heart, and then pain, and feel like gravity is pulling my heart. And still feeling like as if I'm sleep deprived. But I didn't feel drowsy this afternoon. I didn't feel nausea. I didn't feel vertigo. I didn't feel dizzy. I didn't feel drowsy. Just this pain in my heart. And the lady told me that the rubbing alcohol would not do that. So I don't have the money for extra fans, to buy some fans to further ventilate or circulate around the house. But I just got the AC on the coldest, and it seems like as if I don't know if the air conditioner stopped leaking, because I haven't, like, for the past couple of days I had changed around the what do you call that? I changed the paper towels, and it's like I haven't been seeing, like, this time around, the paper towels, they didn't the paper towels did not leak, and I, like, for the past few days I haven't had to empty out the water. So I don't know how I positioned or what I did, you know, that it's not leaking that bad, you know, at the moment. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sitting here confused and wondering if it's worth it to still, like, financially it's worth it, but all the stuff going around in the world, you know, for all the stuff going around in the world make me wonder, is this really the end for everybody? You know, is this the end for everybody? You know, so all this stuff going around in the world, you know, I mean, I really, because I really felt like I didn't want to stay in Texas. I really don't like Texas, you know. But, you know, I feel like, damn, that I hate what's going on with all these fires everywhere. You know, and I'm sitting here questioning whether or not I'm being selfish or covetous, you know. But I'm really trying to, I really trying to, you know, I had been on that housing list and I didn't know, but I mean, the housing opportunity came a week. It came a week after, you know, the fire or whatever in Lahaina, Maui. Excuse me. I mean, I'm sitting here feeling really bad. Like, it's not my intent to be covetous or selfish. Excuse me, because, like, as I said, this is month to month. It's not a permanent lease, and it's less than half that I'll be paying, like, over there with that place to live and stuff, you know. But I heard that there are a couple of I heard that there are a couple of I heard that there's a hurricane that's supposedly attacking, or I don't know if it's going to or already did, that was supposed to attack Los Angeles or Southern California, which is strange. And then I heard that they got 3 hurricanes that's supposed to be aiming to attack Texas and Mexico. So, but I don't know, because, like, for Hurricane Katrina in 2005, yes, that's what we had to deal with in 2005. Before Hurricane Katrina, we had to deal with you know, it was super hot. Like, people were saying it was unusually hot that year. But I remember one day, it was a Saturday, sometime in August 2005. One day it was strangely cold enough that we all had to wear a jacket or a coat or something. And that was really strange. It was, I don't remember what day it was. I just remember it was a Saturday, and probably the first or second or probably third Saturday in August of 2005. And so but most of the time it been so hot and traumatizingly hot. And they said at the hotter of the summer, that's the more active the hurricanes are. They said New Orleans had even been dry, but I heard that New Orleans and certain areas are supposed to be getting some rain. But even Houston, Texas, they said that it's been unusual drought, or not exactly drought, but dry weather and heat all this time. And then I felt bad somewhere, and I think they said St. Tammany Parish, somewhat, in it was in Louisiana, and St. Tammany Parish. I heard that the school buses really didn't have air conditioners, and the kids suffered in the heat riding the bus to and from school. And I just felt really terrible for those, the kids who got to ride in the hot, the hot school bus, So, but so I mean, it is now 7:14 p.m. Wow. Okay. So if it weren't for the chest pains or pain in my heart that I'm experiencing, if it weren't for that, then I wouldn't have the need to come back on here and do this video. I wouldn't feel the need to come back on here and do another video. But, it's just part of my gang stalking documentation that, what is it that they're doing to me, But I still would like to try to pursue, trying to seek help to try to get to Pensacola, like get the funds to get to Pensacola and see about that housing situation, if it can be cheaper than, and cheaper and permanent. And but all because of, them attacking my heart. I couldn't even work on writing more writing this afternoon. I couldn't even work on it this afternoon or this evening. So, like, I'm kind of not even really hungry right now, but, I don't want to eat dinner too late. But, right after I get off here, I'm going to try to eat dinner. Yeah, this is getting really scary. And they will try to make you feel like the directed energy attacks that they're doing to you. They will try to gaslight and manipulate you into feeling like the symptoms you're feeling is something you did bad or something you did wrong, or it's your fault, your own fault. But after I got off the previous video, I went into the living room and I was fine. And then it just suddenly crept up on me without warning, this severe pressure and pain all over my heart and chest. I'm starting to feel a little bit sleepy right now, a little bit. But, I want to try to, I don't know if I'll do another video later on tonight, since, I didn't want to bombard y'all with too much. But I didn't, I didn't want to bombard y'all with too much. So I don't even know if I mean, I don't want to be, oh, excuse me. Like, if I go to bed tonight, I didn't want to bombard y'all with too much, video time. So, like tonight, I probably won't do another video, you know. I'm wondering if it would make me hungrier, or would I be fine if since I had meat earlier, if I should just have if I should just simply eat a pear, an avocado, and let's see, a pear, an avocado, and sweet potato, and probably some coconut oil on it, but no extra sugar or sweet. You know, I'm wondering what I should do, or if I should have all that plus the pork tenderloin. But when I called the food stamp lady, the food stamp people, it didn't sound like I was in any trouble, you know. And I had wrote a letter a couple of weeks ago explaining my situation and telling them about the sleep deprivation, and I didn't realize I accidentally put in the wrong date on my food stamp application, and I don't even know what other errors or mistakes I could have made. But it looks like my food stamp supposedly in good standing. I don't know. But I've been like dealing with the constant distractions with the gang stalking, like the constant distractions, the directed energy attacks, the sleep deprivation, and everything like make you clumsier. And then it seemed like a lot of times you be sabotaged and can't even think to get all your responsibilities. Everything, like all your responsibilities and everything that you need to do to survive. If you might end up missing a deadline due to the sleep deprivation or directed energy attacks, or them distracting you with their gang stalking, or if they make you too sick to be able to fulfill any duties, and then that fall back on you, and then you get punished or get in trouble. So it's like, if I'm in the middle of, even though I'm late, but if I'm trying to gather documentation for the Social Security and SSI, now I'm put on hold because this week I'm, suffering directed energy weapon attacks to prevent me from getting my business done. And it feel like they're trying to kill you. Feel like they're trying to kill you. It's really scary and traumatizing. For people to just not care and to sit there and let you die alone with nobody by your side. It's really scary. But the gang stalkers are shooting for me to be back homeless again. But they really want me locked up. They have like this severe militant vigilante hatred and prejudice towards me, So I don't even know though. But basically, like at this moment, I kind of feel like I don't have an appetite, or like I really don't want to eat. And then I'm kind of just starting to get a little tired, starting to get a little sleepy. But as I said, I think it was Wednesday night when I felt so fatigued that I was afraid that I was gonna die in my sleep. I don't think that was last night. I think it was the night before. That was a very scary feeling. So thanks for listening to me again. You know, if something comes up later on today, then or this evening or tonight, that I will have to document it, come back on here and document it. But other than that, I guess I might see y'all tomorrow.